Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm John Lazarus with Stories Matter and D&E Publishing. We all wish time travel were real. Unfortunately, it's not possible. And I know that because I buried a note in my yard asking people from the future to travel to 2025 and help me with this video and also get me more followers. And in exchange, I would provide them first-hand accounts of what the world was like in 2025 for small business owners, so they could become famous historians. However, even if it is as fictional as a loving marriage, time travel is a wonderful literary device that readers can't get enough of. It lets us explore the nature of fate. It lets us view history through a different lens. Plus, we all make choices we regret. Time travel lets us wonder, what would it be like if we hadn't slept with that employee last year with whom you settled a sexual harassment lawsuit that tanked the value of your company and whom you also think is responsible for making sure your YouTube channel fails miserably. Yet time travel can be a tricky thing to get a hold of as a writer. Dealing with all these logical paradoxes can be a headache. You have to think of a good reason why a character should or shouldn't have sex with their family member or themselves. You have to think of all the different ways people from the past were backward and bad. You have to think of a reason why falling in love with Annie McDowell would make your life better in any way whatsoever. Still, time travel can be a wonderful playground for a writer who's got nothing to lose now that his company is probably going bankrupt again, and not even because of a fire this time. You can even use it to exorcise some demons. My time travel story, There's No Place Reich Home, about a man who goes back in time to kill Hitler only to realize he's one of Hitler's descendants, came about after I discovered some Nazi paraphernalia at my uncle's house. Interpol later explained to me that he was a prop manager for a local production of The Sound of Music, but it still made for an interesting dilemma to explore in fiction. We'll analyze past mistakes and see if some dicks can be unsucked on this edition of Stories Matter. Speaking of time travel, take a trip back in time with a visit to Mahoney's Diner off Highway 5 just outside of St. Louis. With Missouri's regressive abortion laws, you'll already feel like you've gone halfway back to a simpler time. And stepping into Mahoney's, with its checkerboard tiles and chrome swivel stools, will take you the rest of the way there. Mahoney's offers quality classics from the 1950s, from juicy burgers, to Coca-Cola milkshakes, to novelty cakes that look like the neighbors you had to cannibalize after the Soviets dropped the bomb. And if the idea of a racially desegregated diner strikes you as inauthentic, don't worry. People of color wouldn't be caught dead here. Visit Mahoney's next time you get lost on the outskirts of St. Louis. Tip 1. Choose your rules, and choose them carefully. The time travel stories generally fall into 3 categories. Stories where the past cannot be changed, stories where changes alter the future, and stories where alternate realities branch off from the main one. I can't tell you which one to choose, by which I mean I absolutely can tell you which one to choose, and it's the alternate realities one. The great thing about this one is that you don't have to worry about paradoxes forming because every decision the characters make forms a new reality. Also, people have a natural curiosity about the choices they never made and the alternate lives which they could be living. For example, I bet most people watching this video wonder what your life would be like if you had married your high school sweetheart instead of falling victim to her mom's sexual advances. Perhaps if you found a way to juggle both of them instead of confessing, well, that would have set you off on a career as a successful minister or politician. Me personally, I wonder what my life would have been like if I had been in D&E offices the day the building burned down, instead of in that fugue state. Tip 2. Pick a trigger, and hold off on pulling it. The DeLorean, the phone booth, the hot tub time machine. Make your method something unique and memorable. I'd avoid vehicles as they've been done to death. Your method doesn't have to be a device at all. In There's No Place Reich Home, the main character triggers time travel by shaving his facial hair into a Hitler mustache. But it's also good to wait until the end of the first act to trigger the time travel. We want to know the character fairly well so we experience the shock of time travel with them. In my young adult series, The Time Thief, I set up the main character's Roblox addiction so we can experience how difficult traveling back to 2002 really is. Tip 3. Choose an interesting backdrop and connect it to the character. It's never a bad idea to pick important moments in history to visit. September 11th, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, the day Franz Ferdinand's indie rock hit Take Me Out was released. But even more important, the time period should connect to your character in some way. In my aforementioned There's No Place Like Home, it was important to get the character back to World War II Germany, because his friends bet him $1,000 he couldn't kill Hitler if given the chance. Tip 4. Introduce setbacks. Like any story, you need conflict. A great way to do this in a time travel story is to make the method of time travel malfunction or disappear. The DeLorean, for example, wouldn't start and needed plutonium. In my short story, God Only Knows, the character of God, who had initiated the original time travel, got into an argument with the protagonist Jeffrey and refused to send him back to present-day Sacramento. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll leave you with this week's author quote of the week. See you on the next one.